Welcome to Planting Seeds. Come in, sit down, get comfy, take what resonates and leave the rest. Here's to planting hope and looking forward. You are loved. Don't ever forget that. Hello. Well, I'm back with another message and a clarification, I think, even though I guess it doesn't matter, but I just want to say that this channel will have messages from Spirit, poems that I hope bring inspiration, just upliftment. That is all that I want to bring forward with this channel is upliftment. So I can't always say the things that I post will be, this is what Spirit has to say to you, but I can say that the things that I post and share on here will be things to inspire you, give you hope, because that's what it's all about. That's why the channel is called Planting Seeds of Hope. So let's get into today's message. Today is September 30th, and it is 3:13 Pacific Standard Time, and I have had a funky last few days. Beautiful moments of joy, horrendous moments of doubt, moments of really just being in my head and confused, and then moments of feeling crazy inspiration, and then doubt and second guessing again. And I just realized you have to let those things go. Truly. Everything comes in waves and everything is temporary. Even emotions, right? And our state of being. And when doubt and fear creeps up, Spirit just said you have to let those things go. You genuinely have to let those things go, and you have to give them over and surrender them to me if you cannot let them go. Or you call upon your spirit guides, your guardian angels, your team to help you let them go. And if for some reason you're still feeling them, you might need to cry or scream, punch a pillow, scream into a pillow, journal it out, jog it out, walk it out, jump it out, dance it out. But you have to figure out how to let it go. And I tell you what, I have had a few crying spells where it just was coming out. And I didn't understand why, but it just was. And it was just pouring out of me. And it was like, well, yeah, I've been telling you to let go. Spirit's like, you have to let go. So this is how we're letting it go. And this is how we're regulating our nervous system. And right now that's so important. And grounding, that is a big thing coming through is grounding. And it's going to get louder. It is going to get louder. And I know that could really trigger some of you and make you feel a little bit of dread. But please understand that as it gets louder, know that you have guides, you have galactic beings, you have spirits, you have passed on loved ones that are here to keep you both feet on the ground, here to keep you in your body, and know that you're not going to go through any of this alone. Even if you physically look around and you think you're alone, sit down, take some breaths, and call upon a passed on loved one. Call upon a spirit guide or guardian angel. And, maybe you're like, I don't know what they look like or who that's supposed to be. How do I do that? Sit down, take some deep breaths, and say, for my highest and best good, I call upon, and you can even add in a benevolent spirit guide or guardian angel that wants nothing but the best for me and wants me to be on my highest path, and that can help me move this energy or these emotions that I'm feeling right now. And you just sit there and take a few breaths. with no expectations. Spirit says no expectations, because when we think it's supposed to come across a certain way, or this beautiful winged golden shining person is supposed to come, no expectations. Sometimes it's just a shift in your feelings and emotions. Sometimes you see something physically. Sometimes you see something in your mind's eye. A picture will get popped in, or you'll hear something, whether it's a song or ringing, or there will be something that they will send you to show you they're there. And you just sit and be with that energy, and you breathe. And even if you don't feel anything, you're like, I don't know if anything's happening, just sit and take some breaths and just be until you feel lighter. Because the energy will shift and it will move. And another thing I want to add is that sometimes we feel like when we do energy work, that instantaneously that energy should be gone. And sometimes it happens, but sometimes it takes a little bit, especially if the energy was really heavy. Sometimes it can even take until we go to sleep, and more work can be done while we're sleeping, and we wake up the next day and it feels uplifting, or we feel uplifted, or even taking a nap, but Spirit says that as it gets louder and a little more chaotic, really taking deep breaths, box breathing, I'm sure you've heard of it, or breathing in fours, is really good for the nervous system and calming you and centering you, and you do it for however long you need. But really, taking those breaths, doing things that ground you. I know for me right now, I've returned to the practice of yoga, and I love it, and I'm incorporating it more and more into my daily life as much as I can, which should be every day because I have to make that time for it. And I can feel when I don't do it, how I get a little uncentered. And we're really, and there's a sensitivity that we're all going to be feeling more and more and more, because as our DNA shifts and changes and upgrades and we ascend, things get more sensitive because we need to be more aware of the energy around us and how to protect ourselves. And just saying a simple prayer, anything can be a part of your practice to shield and protect yourself, or enveloping yourself in golden light. But Spirit's saying really, and it doesn't have to be dramatic or anything like that. It's all about your intention. It's all about intention. Whether it's, carrying a protective crystal, anything, having salt on you. It's just doing the things to ground and protect yourself. And it can be simple. It's all about the intention behind it, and then you elevate it with, you say your words and your prayers, and you have your intention behind the words, but then you can elevate it by adding on herbs that you carry, or crystals that you carry, or a mineral that you carry. Minerals, crystals, same thing. Or, a guide or a deity that you call on, or an ancestor that you call on, or a very specific prayer, like from the Book of Psalms. Phenomenal. I am not connected to any one religion, but the Book of Psalms is a beautiful book of prayers, spells, however you choose to identify with them, rituals. But the Old Testament is gorgeous for getting those. But, it's going to be about, and as we go into, in the Northern Hemisphere, go into the darker part of the year, and ancestor season is coming, and, the holidays, the dark part of the year isn't just because it physically is dark or a lot longer. It can also be a dark part of the year because of family and holidays. And, some of those things can be too much for people, whether it's being around family or having to deal with past losses that you've experienced. But something Spirit says is like, if it's grief that you are wanting to shield yourself from, and almost like push back and push away, like you're scooting back and trying to scoot away from it, the Spirit is saying to hug your grief, embrace it, and tell your grief it's okay to be there. And then you'll figure out, as you do that and you tell it it's okay to be there, it'll soften the grief. It'll soften those blows. If it's disconnect with your family, tell yourself it's okay. There's a reason why that disconnect is there, and it's okay. And to give yourself grace and have understanding and compassion for yourself, whether you've created it or they've created it. Because if it's something you've created, maybe they will work on some things. If it's something that they've created and they set that space and boundary with you, maybe it's something you need to work on, which it's not a bad thing. So, Spirit's just saying, take your time, be gentle with yourself, be kind to yourself, be intentional, ground yourself. Again, things are going to get louder. The heart may feel more sensitive. It's going to feel, I know for me, it's felt very raw, very open, very vulnerable since July. And don't try to reclose yourself off. Don't try to put that shield over yourself to harden yourself so that you don't feel anything. Lean into that rawness, into that vulnerability, and be gentle and kind with yourself. Like I said, grounding yourself is going to be so good. Doing things that bring softness, stillness, nourishment, things that bring you joy, happiness, fun, really playing and creating. Those things are going to be so good as we go into October, November, December, and then we'll see what else spirit brings towards the end of the year for our energy into January and February before we go into spring. But as we move through these months coming up, just be kind, be gentle with yourself. I know grounding is so freaking important right now. It's insane. I have messed up and not taken the time to ground myself and really have felt it. Sleeping, resting, another big one. Honor what your body's telling you. Please honor what your body's telling you. Listen to it. Don't ignore it. And be kind. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Compassion, having compassion for others and yourself. And just going forward with joy and hope, but especially hope, right? Go forward with hope. Even if it's just a little kernel of hope you're holding on to, go forward with that. It'll make a difference in your day, in the coming months, and your life. And just know that you are loved. Take care, guys. Until next time. Bye-bye.